It's time for another dessert, but this dessert's gonna have something a little different. It's gonna have some bacon in it because we're gonna be making some bacon banana bread, and we're gonna be topping that with a Kahlua cream sauce. So our first component we got to work with are the bananas, and the best way really to make banana bread is to use bananas that are really kind of past that ripe stage. They're starting to get soft. It's kind of when the banana peel starts to turn black. And I've got 3 bananas here. 2 of them are really ready and the other one's just kind of getting there, so mixed together they'll be perfect. We're just going to go ahead and mash these up with a fork. You can just see how soft these are here. You really want to work them good, get them mashed down completely. You could use a potato masher if you want. You could use your hands if you want. You just want to turn them into a real banana paste. Let's give it a nice stir here and we're good to go. Next ingredient is 1/3 cup of melted butter. We're going to add 2 eggs that have been beaten. We're also going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. We're going to give this a little mix first here, get the sort of the wet ingredients incorporated. Just using that same fork that we mashed the bananas with. Now I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of sugar. I'm just going to stir this in. Now we're going to add the rest of our dry ingredients, and we're going to start with 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a pinch of salt. And let's get this all mixed together. This is going to be our base batter for our banana bread. This is a very similar batter to what I used when I made a walnut banana bread in another video quite a while back. I'll put a link to that for you to check out. That had a different sauce and we used walnuts in it. We're going to use bacon today. Everybody mixed up here. Don't want to see any of those dry ingredients. Make sure you scrape the bottom and the sides. To this, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of bacon. Now, these are bacon pieces that I cut into cubes. What I did was I got a really thick sort of slab of bacon from the butcher. It was about 1 inch thick. And this was a cinnamon apple bacon. You can use any bacon you want. Fried it up in a pan, dried it off, got the oil off of it, let it chill down because we want to work with some chilled bacon, not the hot bacon. And these pieces are going in. Gonna mix these guys in. So here I have my little cast iron loaf pan. The reason I'm using cast iron is, well, I just like using cast iron, but you could do this recipe out on the grill, on the pellet grill, on the smoker, on the kettle, as long as you can get a temperature above 300 degrees. And I'm gonna be using 350 in the oven today. And if you can hit 350, it'll just follow this recipe exactly. So a pellet grill would be perfect. Even on the kettle, you can pretty much maintain a 350 degree temperature with controlling your vents. So this is a perfect dessert to make for grilling outside. I'm gonna take some butter here and just grease up this cast iron pan. Don't worry about getting a lot of it in here, that's fine. If you wanted to, you could also make a sling out of parchment paper and lay it in the bottom here. Maybe spray with a little bit of oil. And just sort of lift it out when it's done, but I find this works pretty well. All right, that's looking good. Let's get our bacon banana bread batter in here. And I'm just gonna pour and scrape. Turn this so I can scrape it out. All right, our oven's preheated to 350 degrees. Let's get this in. That's going to go for 45 to 50 minutes and we'll check it at 45 minutes. All right, while our banana bread is starting to bake in the oven there, and you might hear the oven fan in the background, so just ignore that if you can, we're going to start making our Kahlua cream sauce. Now I have 2 tablespoons of butter that's already melted in my saucepan here. To this I'm going to add 1/2 cup of heavy cream. We're also going to add 1/4 cup of sugar. Now this is on low heat right now. We're just gonna start getting all of our ingredients incorporated here, let that sugar start dissolving. All right, we're gonna add our Kahlua now. Now you don't wanna add any sort of alcohol over an open flame, so either remove your pan from the flame or turn it off, and I'm just gonna turn it off for a moment. And this is 2 tablespoons of Kahlua. And we're gonna bring this to a low boil for just a very short time, like 5 or 10 seconds, and then we're gonna reduce the heat so it just simmers and starts to reduce and thicken up. All right, we got a low boil going here. We're gonna reduce our heat down to low. Let's take a quick little taste here. See how we're doing? Ooh, I like that. All right, I'm just gonna let this go and simmer for probably another 5 or 10 minutes, let it reduce down. Then it's gonna cool down while we're waiting for the banana bread to finish. I'll bring you back when it's time to bring that out of the oven. All right, we've been going for 50 minutes. I just decided to let it go to 50 instead of 45. Took a quick peek and it looked like it needed a couple more, but let's do a toothpick check now at 50 minutes. Oh, nice color on that. And we're just gonna poke our toothpick in here, get down in the center, and see if we get a lot of stuff coming off of it. Nope, that is pretty clean. So we are done. I'm gonna take this out of here, let it cool for at least a half an hour. In about 10 minutes, I'm probably gonna remove it from the cast iron pan just to let it cool a little further because that cast iron will retain heat. And in about half an hour, 45 minutes, we'll be slicing into this and using some of our Kahlua cream to top it. All right, here is our bacon banana bread. I took it out of the cast iron pan. It literally just fell out of it. I just tipped the cast iron pan and it fell right into my hand. Very easy, released perfectly. It's been cooling for about 45 minutes, not just half an hour. I let it go a little further. It's still warm to the touch, but not hot at all. So now let's cut a slice and get some of that Kahlua cream sauce on it. Oh, that looks nice. Let me cut a nice slice here. We're gonna use this to put our Kahlua cream on. So here is some of our Kahlua cream sauce, and I'm just doing it straight on the cutting board, so yep, oh look at that. Spoiler alert, I already tried this Kahlua cream sauce. It is amazing. Now just to sort of finish it off, a few more of these little bacon pieces, smaller ones from what we had inside there. There we go, our bacon banana bread with Kahlua cream sauce and some little bacon pieces on top. It's looking good, it's time to taste. So let's see how this tastes with all those components together. Not just the banana bread with bacon, but that Kahlua cream sauce on it and the little bacon bits on top. Let's see. You know, I think the Kahlua cream sauce is kind of the star here. It is just so good on this. I could see that on cake, on ice cream. I mean, you put it in a shot glass, you could just drink that. The bacon banana bread texture is just perfect. If you're cooking this, your oven may be different. It may take a little longer, a little shorter, and that's why testing it with a toothpick or something like that, just to see that the dough, that batter in there, isn't sticking too much to the toothpick. That'll start to tell you when it's done. And this hit right on the mark. Oh, look at that smoke ring.